In a League of Their Own podcast is brought to you by Smooth My Balls. Are you sick of snagging your nuts or cutting yourself with a generic Bic razor or generic clipper? Well, now you don't have to worry. Smooth My Balls offers a 5-star below-the-belt care for men, starting with the Turf Chopper 3.0, the next level razor that provides a very smooth and clean finish with no cuts on your sack. And coming in for the closer, you got the Pube Muncher 1.0, a compact mini vac that cleans up the job with no hair left behind. Head over to smoothmyballs.com today and use code LEAGUE at checkout for 15% off your top of the line men's grooming kit. Again, that's LEAGUE, LEAGUE, for 15% off. Smooth My Balls, shave like a pro.
Rep Sports. Rep Sports is a leading supplements and nutrition company that provides everything from pre-workout and protein to recovery supplements. If you're looking for a healthy pick-me-up, Rep also offers Raise Energy, a zero sugar drink that helps with workout and recovery, mental focus as well. Head over to repsports.com today and use code LEAGUE for 15% off your order. That's LEAGUE for 15% off.
Golf kicks. Tired of wearing the same old boring golf shoes? Not the most comfortable? Now you don't have to worry. Customize all types of shoes, from Crocs to flip-flops, sneakers to boat shoes, and wear them in style while you rip it up on the course. Head over to golfkicks.com and use code OWN20 at checkout to get a 20% discount on your order. That's OWN20. Screw your shoes.
Streamer Loot. Want to rep the best up-and-coming sports podcast? Of course you do. Head over to streamerloot.co today and check out our first line of merch. We have t-shirts, sweatshirts, mugs, and stickers. Again, that is streamerloot.co to check out our merch. Hey, everybody. It is Friday, June 4th, 2021. LeBron and the Lakers go down in the first round last night. And is it the end of Dame time in Portland?
There goes that man's jock strap. Oh my God, did you see that?
America's team? Yeah, right.
Oh, baby, it's a big day in sports. There's nothing like battling it out with your teammates all season long to go win a championship.
Green Bay's got it this year.
Huge move for them. I think it's going to be a game changer.
We have a lot to talk about this busy week in the sports world. Welcome to the In a League of Their Own podcast.
All right, again, everybody, welcome to the show today. I started things off with the NFL. I only have one thing to throw out there, and then I'll throw it your way if you have anything to say. Just kind of Tyrod Taylor's situation. He was talked to yesterday or the day before about getting another shot as a starter. He said he's really looking forward to his opportunity in Houston. For those who have been kind of following this story, it's been a roller coaster for him the past few years of Baker steps in Cleveland. He moves over to the Chargers, and then he has a botched procedure, gets his lung punctured. Justin Herbert steps in. He becomes a free agent again. Now Houston picks him up. So that's kind of the last year or two is gone for him. So, I mean, obviously great to see really anybody in any situation like this continue to try to push through and still be relevant in the NFL.
Yeah, it's good to see him get another opportunity. And obviously with nobody knowing what's going to happen to Deshaun Watson, I think he would do a pretty good job for Houston down there if he was their starting quarterback during the season. And then, yeah, I had a couple points here on the NFL. One yesterday, Myles Garrett was reported saying that after he had tested positive for COVID and had COVID, he was never back to higher than 50% the rest of the season until he was able to take time off and completely rest his body up and everything. That just goes to show every single team / person who was affected by COVID all got hit the same way, and they just never were back to 100%. I know that like unrelated to that, I just look at like my Flyers. I watched the other day, they had like their exit interview with like the GM and the coach, and they said they just noticed a huge fatigue, I guess, with all of the players, and obviously not just that's an excuse, but for everybody through every single league who's got that obviously had to deal with that. And yeah, a lot of them are saying that they just weren't able to get back to 100%. And now this season, that Browns defense, they got Javian Clowney joining him on the defensive side on that line. So the Browns could be a fierce, mean team this season. If both of those guys are 100% and going full bore.
For sure.
Offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels says Cam Newton looks like the MVP Cam Newton of old after he has fully recovered from COVID and in year 2 of that offense. Says he knows the playbook very well, and they've kind of tailored that offense with signing the tight ends and the line to his style of offense that Cam Newton likes to play. And yeah, looking for the Patriots to have some big success this season if Cam Newton can, perform at that MVP type level that he is capable of performing at. MCDC, Motor City Dan Campbell, Lions head coach, came out and said they are interested in signing Todd Gurley. They're working on getting a deal done within the next few days here, trying to get him into the building. For the Lions, I feel like that wouldn't be a bad pickup. He's a solid. I know he could probably get you 20 carries a game. I know he was used a lot, like in the Rams, and a lot of people were worried about his knees and his health conditions. But after like they did like this, his load management of only giving him the ball a certain amount of times. What team was he on last season?
Falcons.
The Falcons,
and he didn't do shit there really. Because the Falcons are a pass first offense. And you got Julio Jones, Calvin Ridley, who was their tight end? Jaden Hurst. Hooper's on the.
That's right.
Yeah, but yeah, the Falcons are a pass first offense, and Gurley was really quiet. I think he only had like 500, 600, 700 yards last season. It was not a very memorable season for him down there. But yeah, I mean, like you said, it'd be a good pickup for the Lions. They got DeAndre Swift, and they just picked up Jamal Williams from the Packers as well. So that was a good addition for them there. So the running back position's got to be right behind the receiving core, kind of one of your deeper depth positions on the team as well, just to keep guys fresh. It's a hard-hitting league with just these freak athletes that are just putting all this time and money and effort into their bodies to be at the top level that they are. And as a running back, you're taking the most hits out of anybody on the field, really. So you got to keep those guys fresh. So yeah, adding a third guy to that roster would definitely be good. Again, Todd Gurley in his year with the Falcons didn't really do a whole lot. So I could definitely see him getting more looks with the Lions. Again, they lost some guys on the offensive side too. Again, Galladay went over to the Giants. So maybe they become a run first offense this year if they can't really find their identity on the passing side.
Yeah, and then one more quick thing about the Lions here before I have 2 more quick points. Penei Sewell was reported after one of the workouts that he didn't expect the difference from jumping from college to the pro to be what a difference that it actually is. Like, he didn't think that it was going to be such a significant jump. He said going from high school to college was easier than going from college to pro, just due to how everybody is zipping around 100 miles an hour. Everybody is a grown ass man, and your livelihood, you're paying for your life. Like, it's not you're paying for your life. Like, you're playing for your paychecks in a sense, like your livelihood. Like, if somebody beats you out and takes your job away and you're not getting paid anymore, you're going to have to find a new job. You know what I mean? So it's super competitive. And yeah, I feel like that Lions team might surprise some people this season and pull off a couple dubs that they normally haven't had, especially Goff not having to run for his life, having a line now. Who knows how good he's going to do? And same with Stafford over in LA. It's going to be an interesting season to see what happens here. And then the biggest point that I have is this morning, Bob Demovsky, ESPN reporter, came out and said Aaron Rodgers is probably leaning towards not returning to the Packers. He's too currently dug in where he's at, just in life and being happy and whatever. And as time continues to go on, obviously this isn't like facts or anything. This is just speculation because still no side has really said anything. But he is a Packers like reporter, and he is around the building and walks around the building. He's there for practices and all that stuff. So maybe he knows something that obviously they're trying to keep, hush hush or whatever. But yeah, currently the report is that as time continues to go on, it's looking less likely and less likely that he's going to return to be a Packer. And then I was watching the McAfee show here right before we got on, and AJ Hawk was asked about that, and he said he honestly has no idea at this point. Like at first he was so convinced that they could work things out and he'd be back in Green Bay, but as time continues to go on and nobody's saying anything, like not even like, oh yeah, we hope he's back, like it was kind of the Packers just, oh, we did everything that we could, like the one statement type of thing, and that was it. So no one really knows where everything stands at this point. And I guess if he doesn't show by Tuesday, shit's getting real in Green Bay, I guess you could say.
Because there comes a point too where the Packers can't sit and wait for him. They got to move on and start getting slating who their QB1 is for the season in these mini
Love's
camps.
been taking QB1 reps.
Which surprise, like, I mean, I guess it doesn't surprise me just given like the depth order, but at the same, like, I like Blake Bortles in that position. Like, if I had to rate, I'd go Blake Bortles, Tim Boyle, and then Jordan Love.
And then, we have Kurt Benkert.
Yeah, I don't know. Just looking at his stats from like his throws and stuff, and just seeing the
better
couple
video
clips.
game player than he is quarterback.
Yeah, for sure. But
if you check out his Instagram, he's got more video game clips posted than he's got athletic stuff.
So that goes to show right there that like he's just looking to make a practice squad or something. But I don't know.
That's a tough. You got to be the guy if you ever really want to play, kind of, or you got to get lucky and someone's got to get hurt. But yeah, being a guy like in his position, practice squad, third string guy, hoping to just get signed to a team and continue to live the dream, making checks and just fucking throwing practice balls.
Yeah. But I don't know. We'll see what happens again. Yeah, this coming Tuesday with mandatory camps starting. I don't know when we talk to you guys on Monday, if we don't have anything to say on the matter with Aaron Rodgers, I feel like nothing's going to happen between Monday night and Tuesday morning that's just going to completely flip and, oh, he's back, or, oh, he got traded, or whatever it is. So, if there's nothing to say, if nothing happens over this weekend, I could see him just walking. I mean, Rodgers doesn't need the game of football. Again, as much as people give him flack for this whole situation and this and that and whatever, it's like, it's ultimately what he wants to do. He has no obligation to show up to the Packers. Yes, he's under contract. Yes, he would have to pay some money, but at the same time, he has no guaranteed money. It's not like,
and he's won everything that there is to win in football.
Yeah, he's won a Super Bowl. He's a Super Bowl MVP. He's a multi-time MVP, offensive player of the year, best touchdown to interception ratio, best passer QBR rating, all that list goes on of the records that he's, again, going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer for. Again, he's getting up there in age. Of course, like realistically, he has 3 to 7 years left in the tank, but
he did also say that after he did actually take care of himself for the first time in a long time with like meditating, doing yoga and shit like all the time, he says that he's like rejuvenated himself back to like where before he even got hurt in the first place. So, and like we talked about off the air, like with the rules changing all the time, who knows what other rule changes are going to benefit the quarterbacks to continue to play longer and longer and longer as well. Because if you have Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, that's just like if Peyton Manning, if all those rules and stuff would have been changed and he didn't take those hits that caused his neck to get fucked up, he could still be playing right now at 50 years old, throwing 50 touchdowns. You know what I mean? Like, the NFL having those players, those legendary players like the Bart Stars, the people that who weren't even alive anywhere close to that know who these people are because they're legends of the game. And like, I feel like the NFL is trying to gear more towards that, is protecting the quarterbacks and keeping these quarterbacks the faces of these franchises as long as they can, because the longer that somebody's a quarterback, that's like the Patriots, how they Tom Brady, whatever pick he was, 7th round comes in. Okay, so like their stock value was here. Then he wins. Okay, then it goes up a little bit. Then it goes up. It continues to build as you have like a cornerstone guy on your team. And it's like, that's what every team wants to do. I hope Packers can keep him. I know that's the curse, is 16 years. No quarterback's ever made it past 16. So will Rodgers be the first?
Yeah, we will see. Hopefully over the weekend we get some more answers. But yeah, like I said, if by Monday evening when we do our episode, if we don't hear anything, I feel like
Well, and Tuesday is the start of camp, and that golf event's Wednesday in Montana. So right there off the bat, I'm guessing he's not going to show on Tuesday. He's probably just going to be out in Montana playing a practice round, just living the life.
yeah. Well, that's the thing too. He's a good enough golfer that, like, okay, between Jeopardy, he'd make a shit ton more money than the NFL, and he's a good enough golfer that he could get into like pro-am tournaments, stuff like that, for charities and this and that, where he's still making money doing that. And that's Jeopardy, 0 wear and tear on the body. Golf, 100 times less wear and tear on the body than football. So I mean,
It depends how you use your body, but yeah, because there's some guys like who have knee surgeries every single offseason because they're swinging so hard that they use so much torque and stuff in their knees and stuff. But yeah, like it just depends, like, and everybody's, different. How well do you train? How well do you, take care of yourself to where you aren't going to get hurt?
Yeah.
Golfing, how many golfers are super, super, super fit? Not really many. Like, yeah, they're skinnier, they're whatever, they can walk, the endurance is there. But as far as actually being in shape and like fully flexible at everything, not too many is like other sports, because you're using every single word golf. You're using, it's not so much like, okay, I got a 300 guy coming at me this time, and he pushes a little bit harder this time than he did the time before, so you got to give it a little bit harder. Boom, something goes down. Where in golf, it's just the same thing over and over again. It's like that machine.
Which is why you see those guys.
How many times can it do the same thing over? Boom, one time it just blows up. Done.
That's why too with golf, you see guys that have careers for 20, 30, 40 years.
Or 1 year, 2 years, and you never hear them again.
Yeah. And then
the one guy that wins the one major, the one tournament, his first time out, and then he never wins again.
Yeah. And then he never cracks the top 50 again, but yet he's still making 6 figures every time he steps out on the course.
Well, yeah, even the Corn Ferry Tour, I was looking, their purses, since so many people are joining the sport of golf, it's going from $600,000 this season, which is like first place for a tournament, up to $1 million by 2023. So that's huge. That's 400. That's almost $500,000 a tournament. So sport of golf is on the rise in the US. I love it. It's cool to see. Eventually, hope, maybe it gets to the point where there's so many people that they start another tour, or they start another, because the majors, it's like 156 people are allowed to, maybe they bump up the field to 300 and they do it Tuesday, like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You have like people compete for the last 50 spot, like take like the top 500 people in the world, compete for the last whatever certain spots where the certain people are already guaranteed, to make it fun, like a play-in tournament type of deal, where you may see some no-namer get a chance to play, Augusta or something if he shoots a good round.
Yeah, because I'm sure there's some of those guys that like they know one course like the back of their hand and they shoot really well at it, but they haven't been able to sniff getting to play a major there. So yeah, that'd be cool to see some, like you said, some kind of play into where, yeah, your 156 guys are slotted, but your last 50, 100 or whatever.
Your last 44, you make it 200. So you have 44 spots that people can fight for. And it could be, they should make it like anybody. like anybody, like even if you're some Joe Schmo and you pay, like they have like an entrance fee, couple grand, $2,000, boom, you pay your $2,000. Some Joe Schmo, you want to try to make it on Augusta this weekend. All right, head on down and see how obviously those people aren't going to make it, but you never, how many people realistically, like for the NFL, the people that they find working in a grocery store or a gas station who throw on pads and helmets and are fucking superstars? How many people do you think are just people that work 9-to-5 jobs, sit in the office, have business meetings all day, every day out on the golf courses and are fucking super good? That some old guy's just like, oh, let's give her a shot. And he fucking wins it. It's just like, you never know.
Yeah.
That's what sports is so cool too, is you never know.
For sure.
But yeah, that's all I had on the NFL.
Sounds good. Jumping right over to the NBA then, kind of our two main points today revolving around the NBA. The first being that the Suns defeat the Lakers last night. In Game 6, they win the series 4-2 and give LeBron his first round series exit in his career. So, again, remarkable to make it this far. He's now 14-1 in first round. So 15 years of being in the playoffs. Again, that's obviously more than admirable for this to be his first time not making it. But I know the guys like Stephen A and Skip and Shannon and some of these other analysts of sports are kind of ripping on LeBron and saying, oh, this is your GOAT. Is it like he's not the greatest of all time athlete who you think he is and stuff like that, which we'll kind of see what happens next year. I mean, like we were talking about a couple weeks back with his ankle injury, how LeBron was saying he doesn't think he'll ever get back to 100%. Now, did he mean just this season or did he mean in his career? Because if he can never get back to 100% in his career, if it's going to nag on him forever, he's again one of those guys, kind of like Rodgers. He doesn't need the game of basketball anymore. He's done everything under the sun as far as being on the court. Yeah, he's not number one as far as like points or like championships or anything like that, but either is Rodgers, and he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer as well. So it all depends on, I guess, I don't know what he's going to do. I mean, there's not any talks of him retiring or stepping away from the game, but with a season like this year where it's just been an uphill battle no matter what, who knows what he's going to do.
Yeah, at this point in his career, not in even like when he was okay, so like when he made the super team and they beat Golden State when they came back, the 3-1 when they were down and they came back, that was the best LeBron anybody's ever seen right there. After that, I feel like he knew that he put it all out there and he can never get, I feel like he himself was even aware that I can't get back to that. And that's why he turned into so much more of a passer, playmaker guy now. And you bring a guy like AD over, he's your number one, he's the guy that LeBron is relying on to get the points, where I'll create the space for you, you get the points. Like, I don't need the points anymore. Like that type of thing. Like, he's all about the team, and it's so frustrating. They lose AD early in the game last night, and they only lost by 14, when they were getting blown out the games prior. So basketball isn't an individual sport. Like you said, I completely agree with you. A remarkable career from LeBron. For anybody who hates on him, try doing what he has done and then say something. What he has done is like, even talking about it just seems ridiculous. Like 14-1 in the first round. Like, that's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
there's some people on the flip side who are like 1-15 in the first round. Well, not that many seasons, but they have a losing record in the first round. They've only ever made it past once, or they've never made it past the first round. So it's like you expect great, kind of like we were talking about, I think on last episode where you see a quarterback miss a throw or a guy miss a easy layup or something. It's like, oh, give me this chunk of cash and I'll go make that. It's like we hold these guys to such a high standard that as soon as they exceed, instead of meeting 100% of our expectations, they meet 99%. We're quick to jump on that 1% and say, oh, they're trash. So again, whatever percentage that is, 14-1, that's still 90 some percent of the time LeBron's making it out of the first round and at least into the conference semifinals every single year that he's in the playoffs. So
yeah, and then the only other thing that I had in the NBA was just shout out to my boy D Book and the Suns. Like, I picked them to win the whole thing. I think it was a couple weeks even before the play-in tournament started, I think was when we originally just made our picks, or was it right before the play-in tournament? Right around there. And for whatever reason, this team last season, okay, personally, this is my theory here. I feel like this is a little bit of a theory. Some people call me a conspiracy nut. I don't care. This is just a little theory I have. Okay. Booker was like really good friends with Kobe, right? Kobe obviously dies, plane crash, that whole thing. Booker kind of was down for a while. Going into the play-in bubble last year, they won 8 out of 9 or 9 out of 10 or whatever to try to like make it. They had like a 0.02% chance and they almost ended up making the thing. That is carrying over to this season of doing it for Kobe. I feel like him putting it all on the line to win a championship, to be considered like legendary, like great. And Chris Paul, he's hungry for a ring too. He's never got one. That team, they play very well as a team and they get it done from everywhere on the floor. If one person's struggling, the other people step up. There is no, you could say Booker's the one or Paul's the 1-2, whatever. But the way that they play and move the ball, there is really no true 1 or 2 out on the floor. They all shoot, they all rebound, they all play defense. And that's why I feel like they're going to be a tough team to stop. And that's why they're my pick. Now, Denver is the only team that scares me, is because they have Jamal Murray is coming back. And Donovan Mitchell is playing incredible right now. Jokic is playing unbelievable too. That team is starting to get it done all around, like they're becoming a great team too. So it's going to be interesting to see who comes out of the West. And like you said, Saturday, can't wait. Did they have a start time of that game?
For the Bucks Nets, I want to say it was like 7:30, 7 o'clock, something like that.
Was it an afternoon or?
Let me just check that here. 6:30.
6:30.
Bucks. Nets are still 4-point favorites right now. So yeah, that's another game looking forward to. Again, we'll break that one down for you guys on Monday to see who takes game 1, if the Nets take care of business at home, or if the Bucks can steal game 1 and they're off to the races. If they can come out in that series hot. Again, some of the, I guess, sports talk people around the country talking about how this could arguably be one of the best non-NBA finals playoff matchups to ever happen.
Time. Yep.
So it's gonna be really fun to watch come tomorrow night. I know my eyes will definitely be glued to the TV for that one. So
yeah, people are saying if we can keep the big three from under 90 points, 30 apiece, if we can keep them under that, we should have a great chance.
For sure. And then the other kind of main point for today's episode, the Trailblazers, they blow a 13-point lead yesterday in the third quarter as the Nuggets advance to round 2. And then I have the post actually pulled up here. Damian Lillard yesterday on Instagram posts a quote from Nipsey Hussle, the late rapper who just passed. Was it last year or 2 years ago?
Yeah, he got murdered. He was actually murdered a couple years ago.
And then, the quote says, "How long should I stay dedicated? How long till opportunity meets preparation?" So people are just kind of looking at that as Dame saying, "I'm tired of doing what I do night in and night out. And
when am I going to get lucky?"
Yeah, when am I going to get lucky? So whether that means, hey, Portland, go out and get me some guys, or hey, rest of NBA, I'm desperate, come pick me up to help me win a chip. So Again, it'll be interesting to see. I know Damian has always talked so highly of being in Portland. Again, being a smaller market franchise, if you're kind of the face of the town, he's the face of Portland, not or let alone like the Trailblazers. You think of Portland, you think of Dame Lillard. Like that's just he's the face of that entire city. So um again, he really likes that city. He loves that team. Obviously, the teammates he has there, and CJ McCollum, and then of course Carmelo Anthony kind of taking a later career stint there as well. But at the same time, this guy he deserves a ring, and he might be one of those guys, like you said last episode, one of the greatest to ever not win a ring if he decides to stay loyal to Portland and they don't make a deep playoff run. Right up there again with Russell Westbrook if he doesn't ever relocate to a new team, or if the Wizards do what the Nets did and just completely turn around a team and stack up for a year, which I don't see doing. But yeah, Dame Lillard and Westbrook might be the two guys that never get a ring, and they're going to be Hall of Famers.
Well, and Dame did turn down. I know how he said that he loves Portland that much, but actions speak louder than words. And he did turn down his $44.5 million contract extension for a player option. So he will be out. I'm calling it. And early reports are saying that Brad Stevens becoming the new manager of operations, whatever, for the Boston Celtics instead of Danny Ainge. That is the primary landing spot for Dame is going to be Boston. So him, Jason Tatum, and you get a healthy Kemba Walker back, that team could be dangerous. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to speculate too much on where he's going to go. It's early. Who knows if he's even going to leave? But yeah, actions speak louder than words, and he turned down that player option to stay. So I feel like he's going to be on the out. And you never know if the Lakers are going to make a play for him. I mean,
he's one of those guys. He's one of those guys that every
it'll
team
change
could
your
use
frame.
him.
Exactly. He'd change your franchise a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Where if you're one of the lowest teams in the league, he's going to make you a potential playoff contender. And if you're already in the playoffs, he could get you into the NBA finals or at least your conference championship. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what he does. Again, I definitely see him leaving as well. And he's going to get a payday on top of it too, wherever he goes. And then the last thing to throw out there is tonight, the only NBA game going on is the Mavericks Clippers. They go head to head in Dallas as the Mavs hold a 3-2 lead. So they have a potential to close out the series at home. And that means both LA teams making an exit in the first round this year after both were heavily favored to kind of make a deep playoff run. So we'll see if the Mavericks get that done tonight. And then obviously we'll break that down for you on Monday and see if we're going to Game 7 or if the Mavs will be playing the who they play, the Nuggets, or they play the Jazz. They play the Jazz.
Yeah,
it's Nuggets Suns. So yeah, they play the Jazz. I guess whoever comes out. If the Clippers end up winning the last two, then they'd want to play the Jazz. But yeah, that's all I had for the NBA as well.
Yeah, my money's on Dallas.
Yeah, they look too good. Clippers are too inconsistent. They put together their last win. They look good, but they just look like gassed. Like they had to give way too much to get that win, and everything just had to fall right. Where Dallas is just it's Luka running the show there. Unless he completely slips up or gets injured or whatever it might be, so long as he keeps delivering, I don't know. I think it'd be tough for them against the Jazz, but I mean, good for them to at least take down the Clippers in the first round here.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I'll jump over to the MLB here then. Just a couple points. The Brewers, they take Game 1 in their weekend series with the Diamondbacks last night, 7-4. Jackie Bradley Jr. and Yelich, they both went yard on their first pitch in the third inning. So they got hot again, putting up 7 innings total. Sticking with the D-backs, they put pitcher Madison Bumgardner. Again, for those who remember who his stint with the Giants, he's been around the league for a while. One of the premier starting pitchers in the league is
Hall
now
of
on
Famer.
injury leave with a left shoulder injury. The Rockies won yesterday, giving the Rangers their 15th straight road loss. So the Rangers are having a tough stint this year. And then the last kind of point today, Tampa Bay's prospect Tyler Zombo hospitalized yesterday after taking a line drive off the head in a AAA game. So hopefully he gets back on the field soon. Hospitalized, that sounds like it's more than a concussion, but I guess we'll see. And hopefully he makes a speedy recovery with that.
Yeah, hope all is well with you and your family, and hope that you get back as soon as possible.
Yeah, so NHL playoffs again in full swing here. Who got some W's last night?
So last night, Carolina Hurricanes stay alive. Jordan Staal, the captain, scoring another huge goal late in overtime, deflecting the puck on a shot by Aho. Great goal. It's what you look for in the playoffs, especially in overtime, especially on the power play. You want to get a guy in front of the net. You want to shoot as many pucks as you can to the net in overtime, because every shot is a good shot and you never know which one's going to squeak in. That one did, and they win. So shout out to them to keep the series alive. They did not want to go down 3-0. That's pretty much a death sentence when you're on the road, especially. So yeah, I feel like they've created some momentum. I feel like they stunned Tampa currently at the moment, and I could see this turning around and potentially going 7. Carolina's got the advantage right now. Also, big game last night. Boston takes down New York Islanders in Long Island. Brad the Rat Marchand scores, snipes from the far side. I don't know how Sorokin let that in. To be honest, I don't know how he didn't stop that puck. But like I said, playoffs, any shot's a great shot when you put it at the net, because you never know if it's going to go in. And it did, and you're up 2-1 in the series. Nice little cushion for them in that game. And then going back to the day before, Vegas now on the ropes against Colorado, down 2-0, heading back into Vegas. I feel like this is a do or die game for Vegas. If they lose, I'm seeing a sweep. They just can't seem to get anything sustained pressure against Colorado. They have little chunks and little bursts where they're going to have to score 2, 3, 4 goals in that little burst that they get. Otherwise, the Avalanche just bring it all game long with too much speed, where it's kind of they're exhaust the other team, and Vegas just got worn down. And hey, the puck goes in the net in overtime. They lost, so down 2-0. And then Winnipeg, Montreal, game 1 kicked off the other night. Montreal ended up winning 5. I think it was 5-1 or 5-2. I don't exactly recall the score. But the biggest news here is Mark Scheifele from the Winnipeg Jets has been handed a 4-game suspension for the collision hit on Jake Evans. Personally, I think that it was a clean hit. It's unfortunate that you have a guy that's a little bit smaller than you who does unfortunately, he did put it when he went to wrap the puck around, he had his head down, and he didn't. If he would have had his head up, he would have saw him coming, and he would have been able to brace for impact. They teach you that when you start playing hockey, just to keep your head up, because that's what happens when your head is down. You can get really fucked up and get hurt pretty badly. I know the hit, it looked like way worse than it probably actually was. Like, to me, it looked worse than it was. Yeah, you do give him a charging because he was skating full speed, more than 3 strides. He was trying to save an empty netter from going in, that was the nail in the coffin, that if that goal goes in, it's game. So he was trying to save that, and just really unfortunate. He was just skating hard, making a clean hit, and him on, like, people are like, oh, he jumped. And it's just like, no, for people who don't understand, when you're skating that hard and you're hitting somebody with that much force, your feet sometimes do come off the ice, and you have to get yourself back. Like, that's your balance being, you have to try to regain your balance. It's not like he jumped and put his shoulder like right into his head, because I feel like if he did that, that could have been potential like paralyzed, with your head down and being like jammed straight on like that. But yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty shitty from the league to hand him a 4-game suspension. I personally thought it should have been a 5 for a charge. You just give him a 5 for the charge, get him out of the rest of the game, and you let the players police the game how it has been since hockey started. Shea Weber, the captain, he was screaming at the refs saying, why are you kicking him out? Why are you kicking him out? Because he wanted to fight him, like that's what the captain does. That's what the people who do anything for your team, that's what they do, is in moments of distress where somebody takes a shot or a run at a guy, somebody says, no, you're not doing that. And let's go. And that's just part of the game. I really wish he wouldn't have been handed 4, because I'd have loved to see him, him throw hands with Weber. Both of them guys are great fighters too. So that would have been bombs being thrown, over and over again. And that's respect. It's just respect in the game. So a little sad that they did give him a 4-gamer, because now Montreal, they're hot right now. They've won 5 in a row. Or excuse me, 4 in a row. They've won 4 games in a row. And I was doing a little digging into Montreal, because I was like, something seems a little weird here. So Montreal Canadiens have won 18 games straight in the playoffs when scoring 3 goals or more. And they've won the last 24 out of their 25 total when scoring 3 or more. Last game, they pumped in 5. They do have a hot goalie right now in Carey Price. He seems to be feeling it. And that's all you need to make a run and win a Stanley Cup, is a hot goalie and a team coming together, chipping in more than 3 goals. And it seems like they have the perfect recipe for success. And we'll see how far that takes them. It's hard to score on a goalie who's stopping everything. It's so frustrating for a player have been there of wide open. You think you have a wide open net and you're shooting it like any other game. Nope. Nothing. You just can't buy. You couldn't even hand $100 to the goalie and he'd let one in. So very frustrating. But yeah, these playoffs are, tilt. They're 100%. It's full tilt. Every game has been really fun to watch. The crowd is, unfortunately for the Canada teams, for not having the packed house that the United States teams has. I feel like that is going to be the one big disadvantage, but also advantage for the teams who have a packed house when they're playing at home, and then they go on the road and it's complete dead quiet rink, where whatever Canadian team's already used to that. So who knows how that's going to play out? It's going to be interesting. And yeah, big games all weekend long here. So excited. I'll be excited to wrap those up and talk about those a little bit on Monday.
Sounds good. Yeah, I didn't really have anything else to throw out there today. Again, a lot going on this weekend around the sports world: NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs. Aaron Rodgers might be on the move. Other NFL guys might be finding landing spots again post June 1. So
Mayweather and the Paul fight is tomorrow, I believe, right?
Yep, tomorrow night.
And the earlier reports came out, Mayweather was quoted, he already made $30+ million before he's even stepped in the ring. So I personally think this is all just a money grab. It's all set up. Mayweather's going to win. He's going to be undefeated still. Or who even knows if this is a real fight? I know we were talking about that last night. Some of the professional people are confused as well based on the rules that were set out. Some people are, is this like a legit fight? Does this go on their record, since there is no judges and it is strictly the referee is the one that can either call a KO or not a KO? So the referee could say a knockout and it's not a knockout, and he's the only guy that says anything. So you never, it's looking like it's a setup, big money grab for both teams. I mean, if you're stirring up shit like this and you're making $30 million before you're even setting in the ring, you're doing something great. You're a great marketing man. So yeah, good for you guys making money. I'm not going to watch because I think it's a joke, but
yeah, I probably won't watch it either. I'll just catch the the highlights of it after it's all done. But
And hopefully, I mean, it would be great to see somebody hitting Mayweather for one good time and just dropping him. Because that's all it takes for anybody, unless you have a fucking iron chin, which some people do, by the way, have, and you don't want to meet those people. But most people can knock out anybody with one, it's just all hitting them in the right spot. Yeah.
the sports will flip upside down if Mayweather goes down tomorrow night.
Yes, it would, dude. That's all you'd hear about for he'd probably have to fight a real fight
to get his
respect back.
Yeah.
But he's old as fuck, so who knows how that'd go.
Yeah, who knows? But yeah, again, thanks everybody for stopping in. Again, we'll break down everything for you guys on Monday. A lot of stuff to go into, so looking forward to that.
Yeah, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe to our channels. We have YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. You can also find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere that's associated with Anchor. You can also head over to Google, type in a League of Their Own podcast. I'm sure you can find us on there. Also, don't forget to check out our merch in the bio. Feel free to rock some of our gear. We're up and around town. Help share the name out for us. We'd really appreciate it for you guys. The Stanley Cup brackets, for those of you who I didn't even take a look at who's doing well and who hasn't so far, because I've been so distraught with how my bracket has been. We will get in touch with you as it's getting towards the end here to get your information so that we can get you guys the merchandise that you guys choose out of the shop. And yeah, excited to see where we're going and hope everybody has a great weekend. I know if you're around the Midwest here, it's supposed to be hot as fuck, so make sure you're wearing sunscreen if you're outside. Otherwise, make sure you got that AC or windows open when you're inside. Try to stay out of that heat. Drink a lot of water. A lot of people forget to do that when it starts getting hot outside. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of all I got. I think I heard on the radio that the UV index for Wisconsin tomorrow is supposed to be the highest it's been in the last 25 years, which is going outside and you're just going to get insta burnt so hard. So they were recommending that people put on a lot of sunscreen, staying inside and stuff, especially tomorrow was the big day for that. And unfortunately, I think I was going golfing, so I might have to wear some long sleeves.
Yeah.
I think I might just wear a nice thin little long sleever. Just, nobody wants to get skin cancer.
Yeah, and I'll be at a grad party tomorrow, so that'll rip to my skin on that one. But yeah, anyways, everybody have a great weekend. We'll see you guys on Monday.